Welcome back to my channel. My name's Rebecca, I'm 30 and I live in Newcastle and you are reporting for Beauty Duty. So to explain I realised my entrance script. I used to be called Rebecca JU, reporting for Beauty Duty, but I changed the name, but I still like my tagline. So I still say it because I think it's cute. Right, so I've got my hair in pin kills, by the way. This look of 2 with the Carnival Interstellar. This is a brand new BPerfect Cosmetics excuse me, collaboration with BPerfect. BPerfect's collaboration with Stacey Marie. I love her artistry. She's one of my favourite makeup artists. I find her super inspiring. I find she does colourful and interesting looks, but they're not like too OTT, and I just really love it. So I'm sure everyone's seen what this looks like on the inside, but there she is in all her glory. Isn't she stunning? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 looks. The first look I'm going to do, am I going to do my cool toned look first? Or I haven't decided. Okay, I'm actually going to do my colourful look first. I've done a lot of cool tone recently, so I'm going to get into a little bit of colour. So I'm going to do a purple and blue look, have the sort of idea that I want to do in my head already. So I'm going to do a spotlight eye as requested by my friend Laurel. So yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to do spotlight eye, and I'm pretty quick at that. So it shouldn't be too long. First colour I'm going to take is Traveller, which is the darkest, yes it is, darkest of the blues that I've got in the palette. And I'm just going to, so my eyes are prime and my brows are done. My brows, these are not my best brows, but it is what it is. So I'm going to, wow. I mean, I knew this would be pigmented, like, I had no bit of fallout there. I knew this would be pigmented, like I have no doubts that these palettes are extremely pigmented. With these kind of eyeshadows, as always, I go in on a wet base. I find it's the best way to work with these very highly pigmented eyeshadows. So I'm going to do the inner part blue and the outer part of the spotlight halo. I'm going to do that purple, more or less. So obviously everyone has their kind of different techniques of how they like to do their eyeshadow. This is just mine. There's no like right or wrong way. Whatever way you find it serves you the best to do your eyeshadows. I find that these palettes definitely work better darkest to lightest in my vast experience with this formula. Okay. That looks nice, blended out nice and easily. And the next one I'm going to go into is the second of the second darkest blue, which is Believer. And this is stained. It doesn't have pigment on it. It's just stained from using a Carnival palette. So taking this on a Peaches and Cream PC47. And I'm kind of overlapping what I've done. So place that on. It's quite, there is a bit of fallout. The shades are quite dusty, but that doesn't really bother me, as I've said before. Again, this is just stained, not dirty. This is a PC34. I'm just gonna blend the edges. I will clean up the middle probably before I do my spotlight. So that's that blended out. And then I know I don't have a huge amount of space left, but I'm just going to take Nebula, which is this bright blue here. That is more pigmented than I thought it was going to be. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Thought it was going to kind of be a bit more pastel-y and just blend out, but that's okay. Again, it doesn't really matter that one comes further out than the other. I'm going to cut halos right down the centre. So make sure I've not taken that a little bit too far. Okay, with the purple, I'm going in with the PC22. So purple, I know it's very hard to formulate. I've got a dud in my Carnival Love Tahiti called Blackberry or something like that. So yeah, Spacewalk looks very similar, and I'm hoping it works better, and that's what I'm going to take. Well, the pigment's definitely there. So I can already tell you that's an improvement. Just making sure it can be seen once I relax my eyes. I'm not going out, so it's not like it really matters because I take my photos, like, yeah. So it's blended well, but it's not necessarily retained a lot of, it's not really retained the depth as much as I'd like. So I will go back in when I've done the other colours and build that up a bit more. I might as well add a touch of black just to sort of reinforce the look if I feel like I can't get the depth that I really, really want. And then I'm going into Atom, which is the second, Atom, which is the second most purple just there. And this is on a Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH40. So it's definitely a bit warmer than Spacewalk was. This is called Atom. Did I say that the colour name? Yeah, Atom. So it's definitely warmer than Spacewalk was, but I think they're quite similar in depth. But yeah, I think, yeah, as I said, I will cut out my spotlight, so it doesn't really matter how far in I go. Spotlights, I don't always need to cut it in, but I am going to on this occasion because I'm not doing a pink spotlight on top of a pink eyeshadow, and I really want to see if the shimmers can stand by themselves without a coloured base underneath. I'm really excited for the new formulas of the shimmers as well. And I'm going to take Roswell. This is on a Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH34. And I'm more blending with this than I am like picking up a little bit of pigment at a time, than I am like packing pigment on to blend. And then I'm taking a random brush I've had for ages and I'm going to go into Lightyear, which is the lightest of all the purples. So the purples are blended really well, to be fair. So that's half the battle in a palette that has a decent amount of purples in, is whether or not they're actually going to blend out. I'm looking at the shimmers in this palette and I'm like, ooh, love, I'm in love already. Cannot wait to get them on. So the purple's not as like deep as I would have liked it to be. So I am going to take Spacewalk again and try and see if I can, I'm going to take a different brush. Okay, something that has a real bit of density to it. And I'm going to repeat my steps again that I did with this eye with this part of the eye. So I actually think I'm not gonna stay on to do that, and I'm quickly just gonna redo the steps again just to make sure everything's blended out. I just don't want this video to be a million years long. So I'll see you shortly when I've sort of re-intensified the purple. Okay, I'm back. I didn't want to go too rogue without like filming it, but I'm gonna go into Fiction, which is the light sort of baby pink there. And I just want to round the outside just a little bit. Yes, that is what this needed. It's not my favourite look I've ever done. I feel like once I have my like makeup on, it's not the palette, I think it's just me because I'm really tired. Once I have the rest of my base, I think because my skin's a bit of shit as well at the moment. Once I have the rest of my makeup on, I think I'll feel like a bit better about it. So I'm going to cut a bit more space for the spotlight in. I think it's been a long while since I showed any colour on my channel actually. Nice. So, that's such nice stuff to choose from. So they've got the new kind of glittery. So you've got Milky Way, which that's not what I was touching there. Jeez. Oh, look at that. Looks kind of holographic. And then you've got Orbit as well, which could be lovely. Oh God, stunning. Stargaze is beautiful, but I think it's a bit pink for what I want to do. I'm definitely excited to use that as like a duochrome. Area 51. Oh, look at that. Lovely. So I think they're maybe going to be used for the shimmers, and this looks so banging. I was very passionate about that. So I think I'm going to use those for different looks that I do. Wow, these are what a Martian. Look at Martian. That would definitely work. I could do that. And with a bit of Milky Way on top. Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to do a bit of Martian. It's a bit greener than I wanted, but it's too tempting. And ordinarily, I would do this with a glitter glue. I do not have a bloody clue what I've done with my glitter glue. Just can't resist. I love, if a metallic is not gonna be like sparkly or duochrome, holy crap, I want it to be like a high shine and super pigmented like this is. Like, I'm not gonna take this all the way right up. And I'm just gonna pat this on. That is gorge. That is a beaut. That is sexy. I'm just going to take a little brushy. I'm just going to get a little blend. So that's what that looks like before I do anything else. And I know I said I want to see how the shimmers stand on their own without a coloured base underneath. Wow. Oh well. So I'm going to take Milky Way. Definitely has like glittery particles in it, although it's not meant to be a pressed glitter, I don't think. I'm not sure if that was the right move, but... Right, these definitely would be better if I had a glitter glue, 1000%. So yeah, these perform like a pressed glitter. I should really check and see if it's described as meant to be a pressed glitter. Now, I'm generally not the hugest fan of a pressed glitter, to be honest. I'll buy them and I'll use them, but they're not my favourite. I've really messed that up getting that out there. Fuchs 4 Luxe Foiled Glitter Shimmers. Okay, let's say it as it is. To me, this is it's kind of a pressed glitter in my mind, but whatever. And then I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush and just try and salvage my little mistake. I don't know how I feel about this glitters, if I'm honest, but we'll see. So I'm going to leave that there for now, and I'm going to go and finish off the rest of my base, and then we'll come back and do my under eye. Okay, so I finished my base. I feel like it's all came together. I've done a little bit of blue eyeliner. It just felt like blue was nice for the look. And I'm just going to do a little bit of under eye business. What am I doing under eye? So I think I'm going to take my teeny tiny, and I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do purple under purple and blue under blue. Sometimes I will alternate if I'm doing looks like this, but I just, yeah. So just taking Spacewalk, just the darkest purple on there. And wiping off the same brush and going into Traveller, if it was in frame, which is the darkest blue in the palette. And then I'm just going to I'm going to go straight into Light Year. Just join that to that. So I'm told that sometimes when I'm knocking like this, that it sets people's dogs off in videos, which I find so funny. And then I'm going to go straight into Pluto and skip Believer. Let's wipe you off a touch. I'm going to go into Fiction, which is the light pinky. And then into Nebula, and I'm being really careful. Maybe I should use a smaller brush. Yeah, I will. Because Nebula was more pigmented than I thought it was going to be last time. I'm literally like, doo, doo. It's nothing I really like for my inner corner. So I'm just going to pack Nebula there and kind of do a matte movement in my inner corner, I think. And then take a big, clean-ish floofy floofer. And then that's that. So that's how we're looking. Does it look my favourite right now? No. Do I enjoy the palette? Yes. It's more about the look. I don't really like the glitter, but that's just personal preference. So I'm going to go off, put liner, lips, lashes, take my hair out, and then we'll have a little chat. Well, yeah, we'll have a little quick chat. I'll show you the final look, and then I'm not filming these back to back. The next thing you'll see after me coming back and chatting will be me going into my next look. So I shall see you shortly. Okay, so this is the first of two looks, and actually when I see it all put together, I do really like it with all my base on, everything, lashes. I think it's lovely and sparkly. I actually think the glitter formula is really nice. Most glitters will have sank right into every crease that I have by now and will have wrinkled in, and it hasn't done that. I feel like it would have worked better if I'd had glitter glue. It was just, I don't have glitter glue. They are, in my opinion, softly pressed glitters, but they feel kind of soft at the same time. I feel like it's pressed glitter mixed with like pressed pigments, but it's definitely got glitter particles in there. Like it feels glittery, if that makes sense. And as I said, probably if I'd had glitter glue, I would have preferred it. But kind of very Ice Princess, very matching my jumper. But yeah, let me know what you think, and on to the next look. Welcome to part 2 of my BPerfect Carnival Interstellar Palette. Well, first impressions, I've used some, and it's a second impressions, but I'm using completely different shades. So this time around we're playing in these kind of cool tones, kind of into there's like a dark green shimmer, dark green, like a light green shimmer here, and a dark green. So we're going to play more in this area. Going to do something super smoky and kind of just see what happens and have a play. This is going to be a very Rebecca kind of smoky look, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm going to go in a deep space, which is right in the bottom there, which is looks like a very dark green. Again, my brows are on and I've primed with my BPerfect base. This will probably look like black or grey on camera, or dark grey on camera, but it is the deepest green, almost black, but it is green. So I am going to concentrate my mattes purely on the outer corner, and then the star of the show on the inner is really going to be some shimmers, metallics and shimmers. Then I'm going to just blend that out a little bit. So that first brush was a Morphe X Jaclyn Hill GA-H40, and this is a Peaches and Cream PC34. You do not have any Peaches and Cream brushes, what are you doing? They are truly as fantastic as they say, and great value. You can get great sets where you can like pick and choose what you want. So I highly recommend. Highly recommend. And then I'm going to go into Rocky, which is a very grey green, like a khaki, murky green. Again, this will not show up particularly green on camera. It will just look pretty grey. And this is on a PC22, Peaches and Cream. Just going to go back into that shade Rocky. And pack that back on again. But if you know me and follow me on Instagram, I absolutely love cool toned eyeshadow actually, and have really gotten into cool tones. I think it's especially since I made my hair, my roots have grown out, but I accidentally made my hair essentially black when normally I do quite a warm dark brown, but my hair was looking more cool toned. Especially when my grey starts coming through. In case you don't know, I'm almost fully grey, but I colour my hair. I think the thing is once you start colouring greys, there's no stopping really. So as I move outwards on the eye, my brushes will always get bigger. And then I'm going into 1969. And this is on a PC10. So I'm doing the smoky, but you could definitely edge this and make it like a very precise kind of winged look. It's not really what I'm wanting to go for today. And then I'm going to take Hubble, which is this shade here. My thing about reviewing very popular products that are going to be very popular is that these tend to be the videos that I get hate on. And I just delete them immediately. I don't entertain them. And then I'm going to take Misty Moon. Like, I don't take them to heart or anything. And that's kind of how we're looking. So the first shade and the second one have not blended very well. So I'm just going to go back into deep space. And then just going to blend that. I'm going to tap back into Rocky, which is the second darkest shade that I used. Blend that out. I do think that this palette maybe isn't as much kapow pigment as some of the ones I've used before, which actually makes it a little bit more user-friendly. Just going back in 1969, which is the third darkest shade I used. Yeah, which I think makes it easier to use. It just means that I have to repeat steps, which doesn't really bother me. I know some people won't love that, but it doesn't bother me at all. Because actually pressed pigment sometimes notoriously can be very hard to blend out, so. And then back into, did I just put on there? Oh, I did put 1969 on this brush, but did I? Oh, no. And then Hubble, which is the first of the really light shades. And then back into Misty Moon, which is the lighter. Okay. I actually think that that is looking super nice. So I'm looking at Alien, which is a really dark green in the center there. And I'm thinking to put a little bit just in here. You know, let's do it. Taking this on a Jessup 231 Luxe Petite Crease. Oh yeah. That is giving it. Yes. Might cover the green up with a shimmer, but if that happens, it happens. And then I'm just going to take Misty Moon again, which is the light taupey shade. So I think I'm going to leave the mattes there for now. Like, I'm really happy with how that's looking. I feel like the green added that just bright touch, well, bright touch that I wanted to, and yeah, I love it. So I think I'm going to take, Galaxy first and then New Moon. So in the shimmers, that's Galaxy there. I don't think you can... Yeah, it's like a great grey-green duochrome. Looks really grey in the palette, but it looks nice. It might just look completely grey on the eye, but I won't know until I try. I can really see the duochrome. You probably can't, but... Alien on, the green. I don't really want that harsh line there. Just blend that in to that. Not added any more pigment, I've just used what was left on the brush to kind of get the job done. And then I haven't added anything else to this brush, but I had the lightest shade on, and I'm just gonna... Oh, I want to use Interstellar at some stage, actually. Can't wait to use that. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use one of the more glittery shades in this, actually, because I just really love how this looks. I feel like it doesn't need me to be adding glitter. I don't know. Because these metallics really just say something by themselves. I feel like it just is not necessary. Just need something a bit smaller to get that on with. What's been on you? You're clean. Hallelujah. Going to take this on a Jessup 237 detailed shader. Oh yeah, that's better. Just looking at it right in that inner corner. And a little bit into the crease. That shade alone is just it's just stunning to me. Stunning, stunning. I'm just going to dab into Misty Moon, really tap it off and just go. Okay, so I'm going to leave that as it is. Going to go away, whack on my base, etc, etc. Then we'll come back and do the under eye. So I shall see you shortly. Okie dokie, so that's the base mostly on. Mostly like 99.9% on. Yeah, so I messed up this eye a little bit when I was putting my makeup on, unfortunately. So I just need to give this a little bit of love. Okay, so I put a bit of black eyeliner on. I just felt like it was a time for a classic black eyeliner type look for sure. So, first things first, I'm going to take Alien, which is the really dark green that I used a little bit of. And actually now this is all on, it looks quite pretty green, the whole look. I'm not sure how green it's going to look to you guys, but it does look pretty green to me. And then on the inner corner, because why not have a bit of fun? You may have noticed, apart from the last look I do, if you follow me on Instagram, I really love monochromatic looks, actually. I rarely mix colours together, so that's why a look like this like really speaks to my soul. And then I'm going to take, are you going to go? Yeah. Galactic, which is this like silver. So I will do more with the like with the glitter shades. I just need some glitter glue to do it. Take that into my inner corner on a Morphe E19. And I know this like bright inner corner look isn't necessarily in that much, but I don't do it every time. But I feel like some looks, it really has its place. And on a look like this, it really has its place. And the same with like really bright like eyebrow highlighting. I feel like not every look needs it, but I feel like some looks it just really does add something. Okay, so I'm gonna go off, add my lashes and lip, and we'll have a big chat at the end about both looks together. I'll take my hair down, I've just got it pinned back to look nice. Well, not look nice, to be out of my way, not to look nice. Well, because I hate having hair around my face when I'm doing makeup. Okay, so I shall see you shortly. Okay, I'm back. I have done a bold lip and taken my hair down and added a little bit of more of a funky highlighter, and we've done an interesting, I think that's made the look really super interesting, doing like a very contrasting lip. Is it giving Christmas a little bit? Yeah. Oh well. So let's talk about the palette. Although I only really played in two kind of colours, 2/3 colour stories, purple, blue, and then literally in the lower half here, everything else like really does speak to me. So I'm super excited to do a very green look with Celestial and Interstellar and Reptilian. I can't wait to do an all blue look. I know I played in the blues a bit, and I can't wait to do like an all pink. And I absolutely love this row as well, what they've got going on this row. So I'm really excited by this palette. And I will say, without glitter glue, I don't like the glitters really. So I will try them again with glitter glue and see how I get on with them. And what I'll do is, once I've eventually tried that, is I'll put it into a pinned comment. Lipstick on my teeth, when is there not? But the shimmer formula is, the metallics formula is definitely, of the ones that aren't glittery, it's definitely a major step up from what we've had before. They are creamy, they are buttery, you know, really, really nice. I mean, just look at that on my eye anyway. So I think they've definitely stepped that up. The formula isn't anything massively different from what I've used before. I do think they're not as kapow heavy pigment, which I said is I think it makes it a touch easier to work with. The only two shades I didn't love were Deep Space, I found a bit finicky, and Spacewalk I found a bit finicky, but they're very dark shades and I can definitely work with them, 100% definitely work with them. So just to hold it up next to Carnival XL Pro, that is my XL Pro that I've got right there. And then holding it up next to it. There you go. So that's your XL Pro, and then that is your Interstellar. I definitely much prefer that they don't have highlighters in the newer palettes. I don't really like the mix of the two. None of these are really shades that I would use. But yeah, that's the two of them together. Is there dupes? I mean, absolutely. Some of the colours are extremely similar. Not exactly the same, but it's the sort of thing where you'll pop them on the eye and they'll probably look pretty similar. So just to do a comparison of the two, obviously this has significantly more cool tones in it than this one does. There isn't the greys that this palette does and the really dark greyish greens. So it is quite different. Obviously the pinks is quite similar and some of the greens look quite similar. But yeah, so it's up to you what you would, if you want to have both. I'm a BPerfect collector. I really enjoy these palettes. I really enjoy Stacey. I think she's very unproblematic and I find her looks super inspiring. But if you don't feel like it has a place in your collection, you do you. I feel like there's only so many places that Stacey can go collaboration-wise. With BPerfect until she just has to go in a completely separate direction, maybe mini palettes or something like that. I don't mind the bigger palettes. I really don't mind them. As in, I love them. I don't mind having the sort of things that other people may seem repetitive. As I said, I'm a die-hard fan. I'll keep buying them. If you don't want to buy it, just don't buy it. You know, if you don't like the formula of BPerfect, just don't buy it. That's like my only advice for you. If I didn't like the palette, I would be very honest, even though I do really enjoy BPerfect in general. Anyhow, thank you very much for watching my video. Please do subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I'd love to have you here. Do go follow me over on Instagram where I do additional looks. It tends to be looks that will take that little bit longer, that I just don't have the time to film and edit for YouTube, something that I've sat down and it's taken me 2-3 hours to do. So do go check me out and you get a bit more like day-to-day sort of life silly things. I'm not an everyday active and everyday poster, but I do what I do. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Have you picked up the palette? Are you thinking about picking up the palette? Let me know what you're thinking. Are you saving your money for other new releases or anything else that's coming out on Black Friday? That'll be this is my last purchase until Black Friday releases or Black Friday sales come out, and then I'll kind of see how I go from there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching my video and I'll see you next time. Bye.